Welcome to Friendly Lil Moshers, where we're going to talk about music, concerts, and shenanigans.
Amazing. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm Divya.
I'm Savannah.
Yeah, because they don't know who we are. So a little bit about the podcast, just so you know what to expect. We will be talking about music, concerts, and shenanigans, as the tagline indicates. Mostly, if you can't tell from the background of Savannah's room, pop punk, alternative music, rock, I guess. I guess technically it's rock, isn't it? We were like, do like a broad generalization of the genre.
We like the easiest way to say it is rock with everything underneath.
Yeah, so like rock and pop. We're not super into anything else.
We're not saying it's bad. Just
bad. We just don't like, majority of the content is going to be what we just said.
Wow, we struggle.
Please bear with us. We are new to podcasting, if you can't tell. So why we started a podcast, because you might think to yourself, why are these two random idiots on the internet talking about music?
Isn't that every band ever?
It's true. We're not doing anything really any different. But, we're bored. It's the middle. I hope it's the end, but it's like the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. We've been bored for months. We miss concerts a lot, so we thought maybe we could relive them by talking about them, which remains to be seen. So that's, also representation. So yeah, just trying to take up space in the scene because people try to push us out of pits a lot. So we're pushing our way in.
You never know what it's like until you are physically removed by someone who doesn't think you should be there. They just, and then move you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're just, taking up space that we think we deserve to take up. So if you have a problem with it, don't listen to our podcast. A little bit about us. I'm, again, Divya, as I mentioned earlier. My name hasn't changed. I live in Indiana, in the middle of nowhere, and my internet's bad. So if the audio sucks, or if the video sucks, or if something happens in the course of the podcast, it's just the joys of living in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest. I'm a mechanical engineer. I went to Northeastern, which is where I met Savannah. Yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yep. So I'm Savannah. A lot of my friends call me Spage. I went to Northeastern for mechanical engineering. I work at Sonos right now, so I'm still in the sound world. Really just love music and get to do it for work, get to do it in my free time. It's pretty dope.
She's living the dream. I am not living the dream.
Living the dream. I'm in the Boston suburbs, so I stuck in Massachusetts. And yeah, that's this dream.
Cool, fun. We're exciting people, as you'll soon learn. So we thought for the first episode it'd be fun to kind of relive our history a little bit and tell the story of how we first met. So, Savannah, if you want to kick that off for us.
So this was back in the summer of 2014. We met at orientation at Northeastern. Fun times. Let me tell you, nothing like endless icebreaker games. We didn't talk too much then, but comes to move-in day, turns out we're neighbors. Share
Very
a wall.
Exciting. Yep. Our beds were pushed up against the same wall. That's as close as we've ever gotten. I'm kidding. We've been in a pit together. We've definitely gotten closer than that, but yeah.
Yeah, so we were wall buddies. And move-in day, I was playing some Mayday Parade, and Div walks in and goes, "Is this Mayday Parade?" And I said,
It's a fair question.
"Yep." as you do, and that was it.
Yeah,
The rest is history.
Yeah, we totally became best friends right after that exact moment. No, we didn't speak, I think, probably for like a solid year. Like we were like friendly, and I would like see her and be like, oh hey, and I like wanted to be her friend, but I was also like a college freshman, and I never really had to like force my friendship on people before, so I didn't really know how to do that. So yeah. And then there was the fun time that I heard her play I Miss You by Blink-182 through the wall for like, I think it was like 2 hours, probably longer. And it's not like I could hear the song, like I heard the bass line, and I heard probably a little bit of the Tom DeLonge yed going on. So that was like pretty much all I knew about Savannah for a really long time. But then the following summer, I guess, Mayday Parade, Black Lines, their album was coming out, and they were headlining, and they were going to be at the House of Blues Boston. I didn't have any friends that wanted to go see them. And I was like, who do I know that I could, like, you know, at least have someone I know be at the show? And I was like, wait, Savannah loves Mayday Parade because of that one time that she was listening to them. So I messaged her and asked her if she wanted to come with me. And she said she had never seen Mayday Parade live. And I was like, great, we're going to make dreams come true, and we're going to have a great time. And we did have a great time. And so Mayday Parade is our friendship band. And basically the rest has been history. Once we went to that concert, we did not stop going to concerts for like the rest of college. Yeah, so that's been like a solid 4 years of like just straight concerts for forever.
Lots of money, RIP our wallets, due to this friendship. But you know, someone's got to take a hit, and it's not going to be our morale.
Nope. Yeah, RIP our knees, RIP our brains eyes. A little bit.
Bony knees.
Real friends. I miss them. Yeah, so that's how we met, through music, as one would assume when you're starting a music podcast. So that, I think that's all we needed to say about us meeting, right? Yeah,
I mean, that is how we met, my friend.
That is the story. Yeah, so we are doing this, I wanted to say bi-coastal, but I'm in the middle of the country and she's on the coast like a normal person. So we're doing this remote
Nothing
podcast.
Against Midwest pop punk. Just gonna throw that out there.
I love Midwest pop punk. Personally, Indiana, not a huge fan. There are not a lot of I haven't found a single pop punk person here since I've been here. So can't say enough good things about Indiana, clearly.
Throwing in that disclaimer.
Yeah, I won't say anything nice about the state for the duration of the podcast. So I thought it'd be fun to also go over our first concert stories, kind of talk about first band we saw, like first concert ever, and then like your first pop punk show. Because I know for me, they were not the same thing. So yeah, so for me, I went to High School Musical, the concert. That was my first ever concert. Clearly, I was very cultured and knew what I was doing. I was a huge Disney kid, and I'm still a huge pop person. So I guess it makes sense that I kind of ended up where I ended up. But my first pop punk show was All Time Low. It was in Poughkeepsie, New York, because I lived on the other side of Massachusetts, so New York was easier to get to for a lot of shows. And it was the Rise and Fall of My Pants tour, and I think it was because they had just put out Dirty Work. Like it wasn't or I don't even know what the order of that thing was because I wasn't super in the fandom yet, but that was my first ever pop punk show. I'm a little All Time Low baby. And then, yeah, just continued on my little merry way. My second pop punk show was also all-time low. I'm very consistent in that way. Savannah, what was your...
So my first concert ever was Ed Sheeran, back when Plus had just come out at the House of
He's
Blues.
great. He's great.
I love Ed. I'm so glad I got to see it. It's definitely not the scene I live in now,
No.
but it was like probably why I love concerts so much. The man puts on an incredible show.
Incredible live. He really is. And that was such a good album.
It's such a good album, and like this was probably the last time he did small. House of Blues is big for most of the bands we see, but the last time he was in a small room where there was like a pit to be in, he had a mini wall of death. It was something. It was a time.
Dude, that would be great. Wow.
We were clashing, rapping Wall of Death. It was
nice.
Nothing like a ginger man.
That sounds very bizarre.
To get you going.
Guys.
Yeah, it was awesome. But cool. Then my first, I guess, it was a little bit of a pit. So he sparked the pop punk in me. But my first pop punk show was that Mayday Parade show. I was like,
I didn't know that. I thought you had been to one before that. I don't know. You just seemed so cool and like so like knowledgeable about the pop punk things, and I was like, oh, she's definitely been to like more concerts than me. So that's wild.
Yeah, I was I don't know why I'm saying past tense. I'm awkward and scrawny as hell, so I was scared to go to like concerts by myself, and I didn't have anyone who liked pop punk. I was very much like hiding in the scene. I was like, it's not a phase, Mom, but my mom didn't know because I hid it. So
yeah.
Once I got to college and I could like be my own person and have friends that wanted to go to the shows with me, I could be what I am now.
Yeah, dude, early pop punk, I think for like most people it's like pretty bad. Like when your parents find out or whatever, or like you kind of have to like hide it. I don't know if that's normal, but like that also happened to me, and I was like, we can get into it in a future episode, but like, God, it was hard.
I was told to stop playing like All Time Low, Mayday Parade, and All American Rejects because it was too like angry. And now I listen to I dabble in hardcore and metal.
Peep the shirt though. Peep the shirt though.
Shirt check. Today's shirt check is the summer collection from Ice 9. Some local boys giving them some love.
Yeah, a fun fact about Savannah is that she has like 100 band shirts. I have about 7. So looking at her shirts is definitely gonna be more interesting than looking at mine. So we're probably periodically just gonna see what she's wearing, if y'all don't mind. So she's wearing what I think is a very funny shirt, because Iceland Kills is not the type of band that would have like a camp shirt. Like all of their merch is black and scary looking. But this one's not, and I think it's hilarious. So well done, Spage. Well done, Iceland Kills. Everybody's doing a good job. I'm wearing this stripy thing. In case anybody didn't see it.
It's good to throw people off, because they'll be like, I like your shirt. And I'm like, oh, it's a band. And then they're like, oh, I'll look them up. And I'm like, have fun with that. I hope you like Fake Blood.
The fastest way to a girl's heart is through her ribcage. In case anybody doesn't listen to Ink, that's a good introductory song. Okay, so we are nearing the end of this very first episode of ours. So, little teaser for next time. Next episode's going to be, what is pop punk? Why is pop punk? How is pop punk?
Where is pop punk?
Pop punk is sleeping. It's taking a well-deserved nap.
Pop punk's coming back. Have you seen Machine Gun Kelly?
Oh yeah, I was just about to say it. His music video with Halsey just dropped today, and that was pretty good. So that whole album, I think, is doing for pop punk what Five Sauce did back in like 2014 or whenever 2014 when they, were singing about underwear on the radio. God, I can't believe we lived through that. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about like the historical origins of pop punk, kind of where the scene is now. Oh, I hate saying where the scene is now. I sound like such a pretentious asshole. As if I know anything. As if I'm an expert. Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about where it's at now. I have a lot of feelings on it. I think Savannah has a lot of feelings on it. It might get a little spicy. We might have some unpopular opinions. Definitely gonna get into it. So yeah, that's the next episode. This was this episode. Thanks for listening for this long, I guess. I'm amazed. I'm impressed. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
We'll have socials down below. You can give us a follow if you like what you heard. Yeah. Onward.